Hello friends, I'm Alicia Dominguez, I'm Alice, and I'm going to read for you today this Christmas story written by Dani Brown, and it's called Gracie. Okay, let's go. The stain spread, mixing with tendrils of decay and echoes of regret. Faint carols cut through the mist. An argument meant to be forgotten echoed off the walls. Leon didn't even remember what they were arguing for. Angry footsteps ran down the stairs again and again, in endless loop. A long-forgotten dish smashed to the kitchen lino and glued itself back together to be smashed again. And still the stain spread, climbing through the kitchen cupboards and looking for another dish. Leon watched the stairs, squinting through the mist for a faint hint of her. Floral scent spread, waxing and waning with the angry footsteps stomping down the stairs and out the front door. The sour sweetness of decay filled the air. Never again would Gracie stand under the mistletoe and wait for his kiss. He pukered up and felt for the faint memories, the taste of her lips, the caress of her soft hands around the back of his neck, a finger tugging gently on his straggly hair. Christmas carols reached fever pitch across the courtyard and stole pieces of Leon's faint memories. The stain climbed the walls and chased Gracie, stomping down the stairs and out the front door again. Tendrils spreading decay snatched a little fragment before she slammed the front door. Her lips chapped under the mistletoe. Her perfume took on an extra sour undertone. Corruption spread through Leon's memories, carried on a stain. A little taint for Christmas morning. He placed a present under the tree where it sat amongst dust and dead rats. Cheerful but all wrapping paper too soon be swallowed by damp gave the box a little sparkle but no real joy. Give the gift of the same perfume every year and bring it back. The plate pulled itself together again. The footsteps went backwards up the stairs. Leon reached at the air, searching his memories for another taste of her as the mist reached out long tendrils to take them away. The stain only gave back corruption and smashed plates. Leon went to the window to wait for Christmas morning. Churchgoers spread across the churchyard, thanking the vicar for a wonderful Christmas Eve service. If their eyes strayed to Leon's house, a chill traced their spine and gagged their words. The stain entered their open mouths and spread through their lungs like oxygen to be pumped around to all their body parts concealed within their blood. A silent cancer spreading, waiting for the right time to take root and kill. Decayed underwear bulging what remained of his pocket. Moths ate through the lace and through his pocket too. He played with the last of the yellowed lace, adding further filth. Sour decay replaced the scent around the time he ran out of tears. Plaster fell somewhere near the stairs as the footsteps stomped down again. It could be anywhere. Leon ceased putting holes in the walls once they became more holes and less wall. A tired child looked directly at Leon in the window. Leon waved with the tatty old panties dangling from his overly long fingernails. Gracie would have cut them and cleaned out the gunk from underneath while sat on her knees by the foot of his armchair. The child didn't look away but waved back instead, while trying to escape her mother's grip. Leon smiled. The girl wouldn't be able to see the missing teeth and stains from across the courtyard. Leon turned away, distracted by the plate in the kitchen and the footsteps storming down the stairs. The girl's scream cut through the air. Plaster dust concealed the stains, spreading the mist and climbing what remained of the walls. Leon scratched the back of his head with his long and yellowed fingernails. Gracie's old panties dangled from his fingers as he reached around and tangled with the mats of his long black hair. He moved away from the windows, but still the voices of the churchgoers carried across the courtyard and rang out in his head. The eyes on all paintings followed Leon pacing around the room. Someone should have raided the house and sold them years ago. They kept his punching holes hidden, but still let the rats in. A woman tried to take shape in the cold mist, pulling in pieces of plaster. A strain spreading through the Christmas chill. The one who planted all the crazy ideas in Gracie's head. Leon doesn't love you anymore. The wedding bells weren't going to ring. There weren't going to be any I do's. The guests show up. Leon had to tell Gracie left in the night. He didn't know where she went after she smashed the plate and ran out into Christmas morning. All her stuff left behind. He was so worried about her, so very worried. The stain hovered in the back of the church. Cold dew spread over the pews. The guests looked miserable, all dressed up on Christmas morning with a wedding to attend when all they wanted was to be sipping hot coffee in front of their tree. The bride didn't even bother to show up. The church took on an extra chill. Grace below their feet sighed with the sadness of it all. The Christmas wedding that never was. Tendrils of decay climbed Leon's spine. The woman stepped out of the mist and whispered in his ear, "It is long past time for you to end it all." And still he clung on, following his simple routine, mourning Gracie's loss. Every year Leon left Gracie's present under the tree. Every year it disappeared sometime between the midnight mass and morning service. None of their mutual friends stopped to check and see if he was feeling all right. He wasn't, he never was, he never will be. He sat on the stairs and stared at the door and waited for the footsteps to pass through him a dozen times or more. Sleep threatened to swallow him into oblivion. He put his head in his hands, but the tears weren't going to come back. Long tendrils formed long fingers in the mists and twisted his stringy black hair. He could almost pretend it was Gracie there, bending over to kiss his neck, her soft arms reaching around his chest while her breath warms his ears, but there wasn't any more breath. The baby that never was cried in a phantom crib. Leon stood up. The long tendrils from the mist refused to let him go and tugged on his ears. He went up the stairs. At the same time the memory came storming down, the long tendrils pulling yet more holes in his clothes. Leon leant over with his long yellow fingernails tapping the wooden cot that wasn't really there. Long hair obscured most of his face, hanging down in greasy strings. Tendrils of mist fluctuated, forming a baby. Leon backed away and returned to the foot of the stairs. The footsteps stamped down. Leon waited by the front door with open arms, but he no longer felt a chill when she stormed through him. The phantom baby cried from inside the walls. Rats ate the cavity insulation. Christmas carols carried through the mist. Leon couldn't take it anymore. Candles twinkled in the dirty window. He lit an extra one so Gracie could find her way home. All spider webs hung down the spinner's long since dead. The flame licked dust, but nothing ever caught on fire. The wax never ran out. Watching the churchgoers mingling with their revelers from the pub didn't warm him. All the merry and joy burned brightly, but the warmth didn't reach for him. I never did anyone, if it ever did. Leon returned away from the window. Nothing out there was for him. Angry footsteps stomped down the stairs, pausing at the bottom to smash a plate in the kitchen before running out into Christmas morning. Carol singers and merry pool revelers didn't see the other churchgoers and the other revelers as they wished each other a merry fucking Christmas. Peace on earth, yada yada. The churchgoers and revelers doomed to wander, trapped in eternal misery. They each had a piece of the woman in the mist whispering in their ears. Gracie was out there, lost with the doom, ignoring his offers of a warm home and rats to eat. Agonizing howls cut off with their lips sewn shut and throats chewed by worms. They didn't have the strength to strangle the tendrils of decay lurking in the mist and whispering with the woman's voice, "No one likes you." Leon's imagination took over when he thought he saw Gracie out there wandering with them. "Your rats aren't good enough. They never were. They never will be." Leon wanted nothing more than to cry, but he couldn't now that he ran out of tears. The carol singers and merry pool revelers noticed those doomed to wander forever, even without being able to see, a chill on their spine. The hairs on their necks or back of their hands standing. Tendrils formed, the mist climbing their spines and wrapping around their chests. The veils ever tightening as the sky crashed down. Locked out of their own homes on Christmas, but every day was the hours after nightfall on Christmas Eve and before sunrise on Christmas mornings took on repeat. It never changed, only their numbers expanding, sharing the same Woman in the Mist. The doomed screamed in the faces of the living once they burst free of their stitches. Silent screams came from those with warm chewed throats. Maybe, if someone was receptive, they might see a faint glimmer of what waited for them in the great beyond. But only Leon could hear the agony in the howls as the memory slowly faded away. Leon trailed his yellow nails in the air. Over the years, he sharpened them into claws while waiting for Gracie to return. They were due to get married in the morning. The woman in the mist kept her away. Only the impression she left when she stormed down the stairs remained trapped in some endless loop. A broken piece of Gracie's soul, stolen in molecules when the woman whispered in her ear and Gracie stormed out. Something borrowed sat sheltered in dust on the cold mantel. Something blue decayed on dressing table upstairs. Gracie forgot it when she stormed out of the house, pausing only to smash a plate on the kitchen floor. The woman's voice encouraging her exit from the black mist. A carol singer felt a chill through her spine and paused mid-sentence in her conversation with the vicar. The man next to her tried to pull his lips out with fingernails as long as yellow as Leon's. Once he succeeded, his jaw fell down, but he found his voice and screamed. The worms had only just started to chew on his throat. A woman's form took shape in the nicotine stains of on the walls. Leon reached out before she was gone. She whispered with Gracie's sweet voice and wore Gracie's perfume. Vows meant to be heard in church tomorrow morning. Leon gave in and walked into the walls, but some part of him tugged at his soul. That's not Gracie. Does it really ever end? Does it ever really end? Right, okay, I love this story and I've enjoyed it even more now that I've read it a bit slower and out loud. So I hope you've liked it too, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Speak soon. Bye.